Hello all, this is Alejandro Bratti and William Isley from Unlock Clarity, and welcome to Spanglish World Network on Single TV channel 250. Please remember to download both the Single TV on the respective app stores on iOS and Android devices. While you download, make sure to rate and leave a comment. The app is free. Single TV is available on Google Chromecast, Amazon Fire, Roku, and all smart TVs. William, it's great to be with you again. This is we are in this series of helping people to unlock clarity, and I know that sometimes that means having a lot of mess in our heads. But really, this is one of the passion behind this topic and doing this program with anybody that is listening to us today is to really start to open the possibilities. If you don't have clarity and you are looking to have more productivity, it's going to be difficult. If you don't have clarity and you want to have more energy, you maybe are using energy in different things and not really in exactly what you are supposed to be doing. So the idea today is help us in possibilities, that area that it's something that is sometimes like, okay, what are you talking about? Possibilities. So, hello, William.
Oh, ¿cómo está usted?
Todo
Ah,
muy bien.
bueno, possibilities. We love those things and we don't like them all at the same time. Because when the brain gets a hold of possibilities, it's programmed to go to the negative. And it likes looking at all of the bad things that could happen, have happened, and possibly it just makes stuff up. So, yeah.
So
And since
I,
I'm
I love this topic a lot specifically, and let's see like a little bit more details of that, because I know, William, that you are really working and something that you are doing, and it's the same thing that I'm doing, is helping people to see that we are limitless, that the possibilities are infinite. But sometimes when you are like with some emotions and in some living in the past, in a lot of things that happened in the past, you don't see the future or you don't see anything different in the future, and you are like trapped in this process exactly. So tell me a little bit, how was that process for you, like understanding like, okay, I am not the person that I was yesterday, but today I'm a new one that can create new possibilities.
Fortunately, I understand that I am not my brain. And I did a semi decent job at just watching it and not reacting and not doing anything dumb. Uh, as in, just watching my brain have its little meltdown, have its fit. That's difficult to explain how I do that. It's just lots of practice um, and lots of meditation. Uh, let's see. So, yeah, I was just watching it cycle through all the negative possibilities that could happen or did happen or should happen from different things that I've chosen to do this week. And it's nothing huge. It's just, well, our brains are designed to blow things out of proportion. And so I chose, we were supposed to make an appointment with somebody today instead of doing it last Thursday night, and haven't heard back from them, probably won't. And I sent a text earlier today, and my brain was all over me about, well, you should have said this. You didn't need to say that, blah, 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 blah. And so, yeah, lots of possibilities there. And so, let's move on to something a little more positive, like last weekend. And a trip that we were thinking we were not going to be able to take. And yet it manifested, even though we'd tried several options to raise the money to take this trip, and they didn't happen. and yet we got to go anyway. Um, Possibilities are endless when we stay open to what Creator has planned and allow things to just unfold without trying to control everything. It might not be the grandest or most happiest options that come up, and yet we got to go. And it was it was a possibility that we didn't think would happen until the last minute when things just opened up and we were able to go.
Mm. So you have told us a little bit of some of the things that you can do to really start to open the door for possibilities, and that's something that if we can talk the whole program today about that, it's okay. It's for me, it's perfect. But I know that the place where we can start to really connect to the world of possibilities is when you start to meditate. So we can use a little bit of the time that you have today to understand what is that, how you do it, what have been some learnings in the process. Because I know that sometimes it's like, okay, meditate. Almost any religion in the world is teaching about that you have to meditate, but that doesn't mean that we really know what is that, and how to do it in a good way that it's opening the door to something like possibilities, something that we are saying today.
So I have an interesting relationship with meditation. In the beginning, it was love hate. I loved to hate the process because I have a 1 in 5,000 case of attention dialed to a higher dimension. Medically, it's called attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. And yet, attention really is dialed to a higher dimension. So, sitting and trying to meditate in the beginning, this whole clear the mind thing, it didn't happen. So I had to learn moving meditation, and not the kind that's taught that I've seen online. Um, for me, moving meditation can be mowing the yard, doing something mindless, building something with my hands that I've done before, running, riding a motorcycle, which I don't do. Those kinds of things. That's meditation for folks like us. And then once I got to the point I could, where my mind was relatively calm, then I moved into the place where I could sit still and just be mindful of what was going on in the world and around and inside me. And now, um, over the period of a decade, maybe, um, I can actually lay in bed and meditate and stay awake all at the same time. And from what I understand from Dr. Dispenza and several other people, they tell you not to lay down when you're first starting to meditate because sleep happens.
Yes.
So, meditation for me has to be a conscious process. I have to have something I'm doing while I'm in meditation. Similar to uh, guided hypnosis by someone else, also guided meditation, where someone's talking and I'm going somewhere, I'm doing something for a specific purpose. That's that's where I had to start when I started the process of doing my own meditation. I had to be somewhere, uh, a place that I made. Sometimes in guided meditations, they tell you to go to your happy place, like a beach or somewhere else, the woods, whatever makes you happy. And so I developed that paradigm where I could um, flesh out my happy place. And I learned to call it meditation land. And Creator and I built lots of amazing things in there, and things for me to go and do and work with while I was in the meditative state. So that way, my brain, who, what did I say the other day? Some days it's full of squirrels in a forest, and each squirrel is doing something with a different tree. And it's practically impossible to focus on anything, as in like moving, walking, thinking in a straight line, actually getting a glass of water, because I get in the middle and go, wait, what was I doing? So for me, meditation is becoming something I'm trying to live in while I've got my eyes open and I'm moving and I'm doing life, which apparently that's kind of an advanced thing. I'm not sure. So, where do you want to go with that whole stream of consciousness?
No, I love that because the idea is to first understand a little bit of what is meditation, how you can do it. That's for me, it's important. Something that you are saying now, like understand that you can be doing something that you don't have to be thinking, but you are moving. Suddenly, you can start to feel like you're meditating. One of the most well, I'm not saying maybe not the most important, but one important thing in the meditation, I know that you start to move from being in beta, that means that your brain is like crazy, to start to be like more in alpha, that it's like you are more relaxed. And when you are in alpha, you have more creativity, and
Yes.
you start to have like you have a better connection even with creator, with God, with the person that you believe is your higher version. In myself is with God, so it's like you are connected, and with this in this alpha, it's like you can be like hearing better new ideas and new things. Tell me a little bit more about that, because that's what we mean when we are seeing possibilities. Like maybe you are stuck in a problem that you want to fix. I am a programmer and I know how to program something in the computer, and I'm trying to program and suddenly I am stuck. And when I am stuck, what I am going to do at the next moment is like, okay, you have to get out, start to do another thing, maybe a meditative thing in another place, and then suddenly I have the answer for that, and you can come and start to see the possibilities for the that program that you are writing. It's the same with everything that we are doing.
Yes. I've done programming too, and I've experienced that many times. If I'm stuck, I change the situation, I shift perspective, and I go somewhere where I can see things differently. And then unconscious is whirling back here and it says, oh, yeah, that's how we do it. Um, for me, enhanced meditation, waking meditation, is living in that state of alpha, if you will. Sometimes it's a challenge because my eyes are open and I'm interacting with everything, and my brain is going on a gymnastic tumbling session across everything. And so sometimes it's a challenge to stay in that state. But just for me, staying in the moment, or trying to, and being conscious of what my brain is thinking
Mm.
and why it's thinking it, and non judgment, and
And
staying.
that's important. What you are saying now, it's being present. That's maybe one of the most important things that you have to do, and that's the key to really be meditating even when you are moving.
And the other really important part is staying neutral and not putting labels on things, which we sometimes call judgment.
Mm.
And so if we can if we can stay away from labels, that typically cues the brain to start judging and start reacting a certain way.
Mm.
And so, if we can just stay neutral and look at what's really going on, sometimes it's difficult because the brain is going, oh, yeah, you're going to see this clearly. Uh huh. And so, that's one of the more important aspects for me is just to stay in a neutral space and not label like
Mm.
myself and call myself names or label the situation, should, shouldn't, so forth and so on. So yeah, that's all good stuff.
And once again, what we are talking here is how to create new possibilities for everything that you are doing. So, one of the things is if you are thinking in the past or you are thinking in the future, you are not present and you are not understanding what is happening and how you can connect with these possibilities. So that's one of the keys is to start to understand that if you're in the past or you're in the future, you are thinking about and what is about being in the past is like, okay, I am thinking, yeah, yesterday I did this wrong and I don't understand why I keep doing this wrong every day and blah blah blah. And suddenly I am start to live out of the past, or I am thinking something that happened in the past to me, even a good thing. I am a, I have an MBA that I did in Spain, and I lived 10 years after that, saying like, wow, I did that MBA, and it was amazing, and it was great, and all the people that I knew there was amazing. So, but I kept living out of that. Good thing that happened to me for years, and that's not me. That's only one thing that happened to me. But starting to live from in the present start to change everything, and and it's the same for the future. Oh, I am anxious because I want to have more money. I don't know what I'm going to do, what is going to happen. So you are limiting the possibilities because you are so anxious that you can see everything. You are like, okay, you can see only like the only thing that you are seeing. But maybe even what you were saying in your example, you're thinking about like you want to travel, but if I start to see like I have to travel, but if I see my
I have to,
wallet, I don't have the money to pay that, and it's not possible. So I am sorry, wife, we can travel. No, you open the door to possibilities. You are present, and you can see like maybe it's not money what you have right now, but you have people that it's giving you the different thing that you needed, or suddenly things start to happen that open the door for everything. So those are possibilities and new possibilities that you open when you start to do this. Like, okay, let's take out what I have.
and to riff on that just a little bit, I was holding on to, I need it to be this way.
Yeah.
And how do you catch monkeys in the jungle? Um, you put a jar out with an opening that's big enough for them to put their hand through, and you put nuts in it or something that they like, and they reach in and they grab, and they're not willing to let go. So they've got this jar on their hand, and they won't let go of the nuts and just pour them out. And so I was doing that with this situation. And once we got down to the deadline and it had passed, and it's just like, okay, I let go, and it's like we're not going to be able to go. And then poof, everything happened, and we got to go. I had to let go and give up. And in the 12-step world, we say let go and let God.
Yeah, and that's true. It's exactly what we're talking. So, if you want to open possibilities, new possibilities, and start to see, are you looking to the past? Are you looking to the future? Or are you being present really here today and looking for the possibilities and the options that you have today? Are you meditating? What is meditation? It's different things for different people, but the most important one that you have to find when you are trying to meditate is being present, and don't start to put labels on things from the past or things from the future that you can do because of any reason. You can do it and you are going to do it, but start to open the door for the possibilities and start to see more clear what you really want to do in your life.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that takes practice.
Yeah, it's not something that happens in one day, in 1 minute, but that's why we are here. And even if you're looking for some tips and tricks and how to do it, just contact us and we are more than happy to help you, and we can continue checking how to do it better. But William, it was a pleasure. We are at the end of the show today. uh, Anything that you want to say just as last minute comment uh, for the possibilities?
Mm. The possibilities really are limitless. And when we can let go, let God, and when we can reframe who we're being in the moment, miracles really can happen.
And that's our, at the end, the miracle. So thank you, William. It was really a pleasure to have this program with you again. Thank you, everyone that was listening to us today. If you have any questions, please reach out, and we are more than happy to help you. So see you next week in another program of Unlock Your Clarity. This show can also be heard on Spanglish Radio Network. Please check out spanglishworld.ca for all the news and programming. Spanglish World, watch it, hear it, read it, download it, and leave it. Bye all.